And also, what is he reading off of? Stop pretending like you're reading off anything that actually has any real world data on it. Stop looking at your laptop. This is coming straight out of your ass. Hello, and welcome to the Lifestyle Nomad channel. My name is Sarah, your lifestyle nomad, and I have been traveling in an RV with my husband and my cat, Pam, for going on 6 years. On this channel, we investigate everything RV life, car life, van life, tent life, bus life, and all the interesting opinions and assumptions that people have about those of us that choose vehicle residency as a way of life. Today, we are on part 2 of our mini TikTok roundup, and we are going to be looking at this video here. They have a YouTube channel, so I went on the YouTube channel looking for the full podcast that they had to see if I could find the full discussion on this topic, and I couldn't find it. Like it wasn't in the titles of the podcast, and I'm not going to watch all their podcasts. So all we have to go off of is this TikTok. It's called correct.opinions.pod. So let's see how they feel about van life. I'm sure it'll be super positive and a nuanced take, right? Yes. Let's go into this with a positive mindset. Let's go. Right off the bat, van life has got to stop. And then it says van life with somebody on the roof of a very expensive van, like photo down, and then a guy with a podcast mic in front of his face. Ugh. All right, let's go.
Van life is dying. Van life, it does feel like, in a way, people are like, I feel a way to not contribute to society in any capacity.
If you watch my last video, you know how I feel about that statement. I'm sorry, I should have just let this go, but I cannot. How do you not contribute to society if you are living out of a vehicle? Tell me how that works. How does that work? You have to eat, you have to clothe yourself, you have to put gas in your vehicle. Right? Okay.
Well, we should all help and have jobs to varying degrees to serve other. It's a big engine.
Why, if you're in a vehicle, you don't have a job? Why is that an assumption? People with mics in front of their faces should be held to a standard that they know what the fuck it is they are talking about. Or at least bring somebody on who knows what the fuck they're talking about. This is why misinformation is rampant in this country. Because you have a nice setup and all of a sudden people think you're an expert. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I know about vehicle residency because I am a vehicle resident and I have been for years. I said I wouldn't stop this. Oh God. Okay. I'm going to restart it. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to restart this and then let it play through. Look at me. Look at me what I'm saying. I'm going to let it play through and then we are going to watch it again and I will comment then. Okay. All right.
Van life is dying. Van life, it does feel like, in a way, people are like, I feel a way to not contribute to society in any capacity. Well, we should all help and have jobs to varying degrees to serve other. It's a big engine economy. It's like people are like, no. If you park enough places, they can't arrest you. And you're like, well, just work some and then surf later. Enough people are doing it. They're like Walmart parking lots, probably putting up barricades or something. We can't house you.
For every one successful van life YouTuber, there's 100 people who are not successful and their vans are not nice and they are not nice. And it's just a brutal scenario for the local Walmarts. They're like, get these people out of here.
What?
Van life is dying.
No, it's not. It's increasing in record numbers because people can't afford to rent or buy a house. Fixed it for you.
Life, it does feel like, in a way, people are like, I figure out a way to not contribute to society in any.
I already said. We don't even need to go over that, right? These people are jokers. And I took that from a comment I read when I was screenshotting the comments for this because I thought for sure some of them would be deleted. Jokers.
Well, we should all help and have jobs. So
what are you talking about? Vehicle residents are our veterans, are our teachers, are our nurses, are our United States Postal Service workers, are our white collar full-time remote workers, are our volunteers. It makes me crazy because it's so easily proven that people that live in vehicles work.
degrees to serve other. It's a big engine economy. You know.
Who are you serving by being on a mic and spreading misinformation? I think you should get a job.
It's like people are like, no. If you park enough places, they can't arrest you.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't even understand that statement. And then it's all like, the laughter is like so hokey and terrible. Like, I don't even think these guys even understand what he's saying. Honestly.
And you're like, what? Just work some and then surf later.
People can't surf without money. The people that I know that surf worked. They worked to surf. They worked near where the surf was good and they worked. What are you talking about? You have no knowledge of this and yet you are super happy to spout opinions about this and you have no idea. You have no idea. Don't make me call you jealous.
Enough people are doing it. They're like Walmart parking lots, probably putting up barricades or something. We can't house.
They're probably putting up barricades or something. Are they or are they not? Also, yes, Walmart has been closing RVers and vanners and things like that to overnight park in Walmarts because of the prevalence of people abusing it, or they just don't want to take the liability anymore. That's what happens when things like that get popular and they have issues. They shut it down. Let me think of another situation that doesn't involve vehicle residents that they had to shut down because people are jerks. Public bathrooms. People trash those, and so they shut them down. Those aren't vehicle residents necessarily. So
for every one successful van life YouTuber, there's 100 people who are not successful and their vans are not nice and they are.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you saying right now? Not every person in a van is doing YouTube or wants to do YouTube. There's I think the count is maybe 2 million people that live out of their vehicles in the US. Maybe. I don't think that includes part-time. I think it's probably more. I think it's probably 5 million, 5 to 20 million. I think there's a number where it's as high as 30 million. That seems a little high to me. And I don't know if that includes part-time and full-time or whatever. There is not a lot of data around this, but the number is significant. It is significant. Are there 2 million, 5 million van life channels? I know plenty of people that live full time out of a vehicle that don't have a YouTube channel. Plenty. I know people who've started them and don't do them anymore. People who would never start a YouTube channel. I know plenty of people who don't have a YouTube channel. I know a lot of people who do, but I know many more who do not, who live full time. So it seems like this person who has so much knowledge about this topic thinks the only job for a van lifer is YouTube. And that you're not going to be successful.
Not nice. And it's just a brutal scenario.
Also, you have to have, by this logic, let's back up a little bit, because there's two things here. And also, what is he reading off of? Stop pretending like you're reading off anything that actually has any real world data on it. Stop looking at your laptop. This is coming straight out of your ass.
Every one successful van life YouTuber, there's 100 people who are not successful and their vans are not nice and they are not nice.
Why do you have to have a nice van to be successful on YouTube? Now, this is a double thing, right? Because the reality is that people are selling a lifestyle. I'm selling a different kind of lifestyle. Thank you very much. I'm not selling anything at all, honestly. But I just love the phrase lifestyle nomad. So people on TikTok, because that's what we're talking about here, really, they are selling an aesthetic. And we all know this to be true. People on YouTube are selling an aesthetic. Now, there are people on YouTube. I don't know too much about TikTok in terms of van life. I just don't engage with that content because I'm on the road. Why would I? I don't care. But on YouTube, there are very authentic van lifers, full-time nomads, sharing their real world experience living out of a vehicle. And it's not quote unquote nice. But why does it have to be nice? Why does it have to be visually appealing to you if people are going to live in a vehicle? Why? Why is that a thing? I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it within the financial, within my financial means. Not everybody can or wants to go out and buy a $300,000 van. Why would you do that? Then there's your rent. How much is a monthly payment on that? No, but there are plenty of vehicles out here. Mine is a 1994. We've been living out of it for almost 6 years. The old does not necessarily mean not useful, not usable. In fact, they made things better back then than they do now. Am I saying my rig is impenetrable? No, that is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that nice is relative. And I don't know a lot of people that are out here to impress people like this. They're out here to travel and live their life to the fullest. That is why we are out here. Because we found a certain amount of peace within a society that only values your labor. Which these guys are reinforcing, right? Nice rigs don't matter. If you're doing an aesthetics YouTube, TikTok, IG channel, sure. Spend all the time you want painting your cabinets white and putting up, fake greenery, whatever. However you want to do this is totally fine. But the best thing about this life vehicle residency is whatever you do that's best for you is the best option. And people's opinions be damned. It doesn't need to be nice for you. And again, nice is relative.
And it's just a brutal scenario for the local Walmarts.
What? What does that even mean? So everybody should have a nice, quote unquote, nice vehicle for Walmart? What? What are you talking about?
Get these people out of here.
What? I don't even understand. Like, it's a brutal scenario that people park the vehicle that they can afford and that gives them housing at Walmart's because it is allowed at Walmart, but we're assuming Walmart only wants certain rigs in their parking lots. It's a freaking parking lot. I mean, I do understand that that's pretty rage baity, right? I get it. Let's look at the comments because I was really kind of curious about the comments, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people feel very differently to how I feel. Okay, here. Bro says this self-righteously as he sits in his little podcast studio. Well, there you go. Van life is growing because cost of rent, LOL. Right. Life isn't all about work. Van life would be awesome if it didn't already commit to all these responsibilities. Oh, I said that wrong. See, I don't have my glasses on. Okay. Will you guys bear with me as I wear my glasses for this? Life isn't all about work. Van life would be awesome if I didn't already commit to all these responsibilities. Yes. Not everyone has a choice but to live in a vehicle and they work. Yes. Wow, so much judgment with... Oh no, I covered this one. Dang it. With knowing anything about this situation. I've met something caring, amazing people. That is Josh Perlison. So I assume that it would be a comment like mine. I'm in the middle of building my first van because I'm tired of feeling like I'm only alive to be at work. I want to enjoy life. Duh. Totally true. It would take an apocalypse for me to start feeling bad for Walmart. Okay, that's really good. That is really good. Yeah. It's just this idea that these people sit around on a podcast and like defend corporations and defend the status quo when like the world is crashing down around you and the status quo couldn't care less about you. I think they should keep going. At this point, it's as close to home ownership that some people can get. There you go. One of the main reasons why people go to a van lifestyle is to actually live life and not work your whole life. Most people doing it right now are loaded and playing pretend. So yeah, there's that interesting idea of like living out of a van is pretending homelessness, which I find very strange, right? There is a huge, you get such a wide range of economic backgrounds in vehicle residency, just like you do in cities and towns, in the country, in states. Like it's just a microcosm of the greater society in America. That's all it is. It's not that different. Okay. My family is homeless, but work full time. Homelessness is growing. Yes. We are houseless, not homeless. Oh my God, that was done by Was-a-Bus. Wow. Sure. Fine. I think everybody should use the terms that they're comfortable with, but you know. Van lifers still work. What do you mean, LOL? Life should not be to slave for government, free life. I work full-time at a warehouse and live in a van. Rent is insane. Oh, poor Walmart. How is the billionaire dollar corporation going to make it when human beings are sleeping in their parking lot? Okay, this is just like I feel like this is like a humiliation ritual. I just feel like this is like every single last one of them. This belongs on YouTube Shorts. Not them just totally killing them. I live in my truck. Pretty chill. Get to travel and hoping to buy a house before I'm 30. Good for you, Dave. Dave Frizzy. Don't most van life people have jobs? Yes, Otto. Podcasts have got to end. It's just the first wave of attempts to get out of the monotony. There will be more, and they will improve until the system is broken or we die. We have jobs. We just can't afford a home. I mean, I honestly, this is like a little interesting to me because I feel like the majority opinion about vehicle residency has drastically shifted since 2021. If you know what happened in 2021, you know what I mean. But I think, like, I don't think that if this was posted in 2020 or 2019 or 2018, the comments would be so one-sided, which I find very fascinating. I find this incredibly fascinating. No jobs are hiring someone 55 hours or nothing. I don't know what that means. It was a bunch of rich kids trying to become TikTok famous. Yes, but it wasn't that. It isn't van life necessarily. And also, people have been living in vans prior to 2020. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, it only took off then. I think there was a huge surge after 2021, when people were laid off and they were working from home, et cetera, et cetera. People have been living out of their vehicles forever. Those poor Walmarts. / sarcasm. Poor Walmart. You'll need to do some mushrooms and come back to Earth. People want entertainment, so to say they aren't contributing to society is a weak argument. Oh, that's interesting that they said that. I didn't even think about it that way. Wow. I really like that statement. That's very interesting. This is quote, "We should all have jobs and try to contribute to society." Guy with a podcast. "Just make poverty illegal and that will solve it. Great ideas, you two. Haha, Karens." I don't need to see another Trustafarian bragging on social media how it's so easy to do. Well, social media is not real life. Just so we're clear. Just because you see a prevailing idea or concept on social media, TikTok in particular, does not mean it is true for the world. Why would I want to contribute to a corrupt society that I don't believe in? Wow, what an incredibly privileged and out of touch take. Of course, these three men have never been poor enough to have to live in their cars. Jokers, my favorite comment. My favorite. This is what I get. I'm sorry. We're going to read through all these comments. Maybe I should look and see if there are any. I don't see any replies. Did they reply to any of these? I don't think they replied to any of these. So it's rage bait, basically. Got it. But what I was saying is that I had to sit through that, so I get to read all the comments. Van life is one step away from homelessness. Okay. And who cares? You can see how people feel about homelessness when they say stuff like that. That's why we have this problem of actually solving quote unquote homelessness, because nobody really wants to solve it, because everybody wants to assume that those people are separate from them and the reason they are homeless is some moral failing on their part, as opposed to realizing the society creates homelessness. It's a policy issue. Podcaster calling out van lifers for not contributing to society is insane. Every time I get on this app, there's a new random cringe podcast. LOL. Okay, boomer. Oh. That's great. Tell me you don't understand the open air wage slavery and the housing crisis without telling me. Very good. Very good. This person says, cosplaying homelessness in a Mercedes van that daddy bought you isn't really what Chris Farley meant when he said van down by the river. I mean, I get what they're saying, but like, that was an SNL sketch. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. It's not real. Yet you own a house and still don't contribute to society. Bunch of privileged hobos, to be honest. Which one? The van lifers or the podcasters? Yep, I read them all. Dang, I was hoping there would be more. Well, that video definitely got me heated. I don't know about you, but I would love to hear your thoughts on what I had to say, what they had to say. Leave them down in the comment section below. If you don't want to leave a comment, I would love for you to leave an emoji just to let me know that you were here. Let's do a rose. Why not? Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe and share this video out if you liked it. And I will see you next time. Bye. Ow, my leg. Ugh. I sat on my leg and then it's been 46 minutes. That was a mistake. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's going to start tingling and then it's going to be bad. Okay.